is the complete procedure from the application till the grant stage, and so on. So with this, a sincere request, if everyone this in this amazing audience, if they can mute themselves, trust me, I'll make your journey very beautiful. I'll make you. I'll make this session like if you'll understand the IPR, the 9 different types of IPR, and we'll be having a in detailed version of patent. Okay, so we'll just start a session with the first slide. Can we have the next slide, please, sir? Next slide, please. So when we talk about the IPR, my dear colleagues, so it is this concept. Trust me, my dear friends, it was discussed in 1845, later on in the Paris Convention and Berne Convention about the IPR. So when we talk about IPR, like it is anything, something which originates from your intellect, or we can say from your mind. So anything which we see, a design or creative thing which is solving a problem, can be considered into an IPR. And when you talk about for every IPR is granted for a term for protection. So when we talk about the term for protection, my dear colleagues, the term for protection is nothing but, for example, like if there is some invention, okay, if there is something novelty, okay, if it is generated by you or if it is developed by you, you have put your time and efforts, your laborious efforts for the same. So what government does, it gives you a small period of time that this within that period of time, that particular knowledge or that particular invention will be totally dedicated to you. Because if anyone wants to use that, he has to take a permission from you. Either you can give in terms of royalty, either you can sell your idea. Okay. So all the different 9 types of the IPR have a different term for protection. So when we talk about, because you must have heard about patent, you might have heard about trademark, you might have heard about copyright, right? So we'll be having a look all the different types of different types of IPR today itself. So that's a small overview about when you talk about the IPR, my dear friends. Can we have the next slide, please? So a complete type of IPR, my dear, basically bifurcated into 2 different domains. So one is the registered / non-registered category, and the second one is the industrial / academia category, my dear friends. So when you talk about the non-registered category, especially under non-registered, there are 2 types of IPR. One is the copyright, one is the trade secrets. This 2 type of IPR, even it works without having, like, even if you don't register your IPR, even it's okay in this both the category. That doesn't mean like you don't register your copyright. I'll give you a basic example which I give in every of my webinar. Like consider your institute website or your own website, right? You draft your content of your website and you don't register under Government of India. But my dear friends, still you write at the bottom of your website that the content is copyrighted, right? It is not registered, but still you write. So that is one of the example again in case of non-registered category. And when you talk about the trade secret doesn't have any law, any act for it. It doesn't require any registration. So this is one of the type of IPR, my dear colleagues. We'll be having a look much more in detail when we'll be discussing about this other IPR. The second category is your industrial and / academia. Under industrial category, my dear friends, there is patent, trademark, plant breeders' right, geographical indication, traditional knowledge, trade secrets. And when we talk about academia includes your copyright. So that is something like any literature, any content, any research articles, right? So that can be copyrighted in that way. Like for example, if you want to like go for the if you think like there is something software program, and if you want to go for patent, like software programs cannot be patented in India under Government of India rule. So you can patent the algorithm. That is you can copyright your algorithm. So that is the way you can go ahead with it. So that is a common doubt what every researcher, every faculty have it with them. So this is like the broader version how we can divide into 2 categories. Let's go further with that. Can we have the next slide, please? So let's understand this 4 different things. One is the act, rule, amendment, and term for protection. Okay. So when we talk about the act, okay, in case of act is something like anything which has been registered under legislature of government law. Okay. So that is something categorized under the act which we have already studied into economics. Rule is something that is followed by the act, my dear friends. So once the act is formed, then to follow it, the rules are formed to follow that act. Okay. To make, like, in short, we can say it to make it much more clearer, because act is something like very generalized. Okay. Rules make it more effective. The third thing is your amendment. Like any changes, any revision which has been done in the act, any rules and so on. So that is something known as amendment. The fourth is your term for protection. Like every IPR is given a term for protection under Government of India. There are some that IPR in which the Government of India has given lifetime of period, just imagine. And there are some only Government of India have given for 10 years. There are some for 15 years. There are some for 20 years and so on. So we'll have a look all the different 9 different types of IPR and what are the terms for protection. Can we have the next slide, please? So over here, we'll be focusing on 2 different columns. Okay. One is a type of the IPR and the second one is a term for protection. Okay. This act and rule is just only for your information. I'll just share my I'll, I'll just share my presentation also once I complete this. So don't worry about it. Acts and rules is only for your understanding. We'll be focusing on 2 columns. One is a type of IPR and the second one is a term for protection. So let's have a look. So first thing is a patent. For a patent, the term for protection is for 20 years. So when the patent is granted, that so once your patent is granted by the Government of India, so that is validated for 20 years. If, for example, we have the amazing audience over here. For example, if there is, we have Anup Kumar over here. Okay. So, for example, if Anup Kumar sir is filing a patent, and if the patent is granted, so it will be granted for Anup Kumar sir for 20 years. So, if, like, for example, if I or Dr. Ishtiaq or Dr. Shweta or Dr. Ajay Kumar, if we want to use Anup Kumar's patent in that case, then either we have to take it as in a royalty form in either case, or in case we can ask him if you are selling your idea, if you're selling a patent or not. So in short, we cannot use his idea or so without the consent of the owner. So that is the meaning of term for protection, my dear friends. The next one is your trademark. So when you talk about the trademark, my dear friends, the term for protection is indefinite, lifetime. But the condition is that key. Initially, when you take for the trademark, initially it is granted for 10 years. It requires a renewal after every 10 years. But you can take the renewal up to indefinite period. You cannot have a renewal for your patent. Once it completes 20 years, the complete idea, it becomes public. That means anyone can use it. Anyone can use it without the consent of the owner. That's the beauty. The third category is your industrial design. Okay. So in industrial design, for example, like we have this amazing audience over here. For example, Dr. Lalit Kumar sir and Dr. Vijay Karad sir. For example, if both of them are working on industrial design, let's take an example. Okay. So if both of them, if they're working on industrial design and it is being granted by Government of India, so both of them will receive the grant for 10 years. Okay. And if they want, if they're thinking, no, we are getting a very good response in the market, we think we should extend it. Okay, we are getting a good economic benefit also, so they can extend it. But the extension, what they will get it is for maximum for 5 years. And now you'll question, is there any extension in patent? No, there is no extension in patent. That the duration is only for 15 years. So over here we have looked for 3 different types of here: IPR, patent, trademark, and industrial design. That's it. Okay. So let's have a look. Let's go for the next slide. Let's have a look for the other 3 different categories. Can we have the next slide, please? The next one is your copyright. In this, your copyright, it is something like life of the author plus 60 years after his death. The previous slide, please. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. So copyright, when you talk about the copyright, it is something, the term for protection is the life of the author plus 60 years after his death. Just imagine, it is very, very huge. So if you want to copyright any literature, any articles and so on, this is the term for protection what Government of India gives to you. Okay. The next is your geographical indication, my dear colleagues. So when I talk about the geographical indication, the term for protection is for 10 years. But the beauty is that you can keep renewing it after every 10 years for an indefinite period. That's the beauty over here. Okay. So can we have this? Can we have a small question to this amazing audience over here? If you can tell me in the previous slide, we have seen one of the type of IPR, okay, which were having a similar term for protection as that of geographical indication. In the previous slide, we were having a IPR which were having the similar term for protection as that of geographical indication. So which IPR was that? Can you answer that? Amazing, amazing. I cannot see your name, but amazing. It's trademark. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much for being so sporty. I cannot see your name, but I would really love to put your name, but I can only see the initials. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the sixth category is your trade. Gurjeet, amazing, amazing, amazing. Mayank, amazing. Thank you so much for being so sporty. The sixth one is your trade secrets. The name itself says you have to keep it secret. That's the reason there is no registration. You don't have to maintain any document. There is no act, no rule. And the term for protection is but obvious this for lifetime. Why? Because it is up to the individual how good he can keep his secret as long as possible, right? That is the reason the term for protection is for lifetime. No act, no rules, and for lifetime. Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah. Again, we'll be focusing on plant breeders' right. The plant breeders' right, the term for protection is divided into two categories. The first category is for trees and vines. Okay, you get for 25 years, and any other plant you get for 20 years. So that is a term for protection categories for plant breeders' right. That's the seventh category of IPR. Let's go to the next one. That is a traditional knowledge. Again, no act, no rules. The term for protection is for lifetime. So can we have one more question over here? In the previous slide, my dear colleagues, we have seen one of the type of IPR. Even that IPR didn't had any act, any rules. Even the term for protection was for lifetime. Which IPR was that? In the previous slide, amazing, Arvan, amazing, amazing, Arvan. Amazing, Dr. Lalit Kumar. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being so sporty. Thank you so much, Muzana Fernandez. Thank you so much. Mayank, amazing, amazing. Let's go for the last category. The last category, yeah, I'll come to the point. I'll come to the point. We'll be discussing each and every type of the IPR for at least 3 to 5 minutes in the coming slide. Don't worry. This is just an overview. Okay. The last category is for semiconductor integrated circuit layout design. Semiconductor integrated circuit layout designs. So in this, the term for protection is for 10 years. That means, for example, if anyone from this amazing audience is working on circuit designs, okay, for example, Dr. Rishmi ma'am is working on auto and Kiral Patel ma'am is working on circuit designs, and if they want to go for a peer registration under Government of India, and if they get and if they clear the examination, okay, so they will get the term for protection for 10 years. So once they complete 10 years, okay, it will become public. That means even me or Dr. Vishal sir or anyone can use it without the consent of both of them. So that is the way it works, the term for protection. So we have seen a rough overview about the 9 different types of IPR and the term for protection. Just an overview. We are focused on 2 things. One is the type of the IPR and next is the term for protection. Okay. Can we have the next slide, please? So next is the objective. Like everyone had a question, ki why we should go for it? Okay. Basic. I'll say only one statement, a golden statement is that the term for protection, what Government of India is giving it to you, my dear colleagues, it's something like a motivation or something, a recognition which is given to you for your efforts, for your laborious efforts, for your intellect. So that is something like a major objective what IPR is about. So whatever you have been put, you'll be have been putting your intellect, you have been putting your time and so on. So the term for protection decides the recognition what you will be getting for your work. Because with that term for duration, for example, if you talk about the patent, the duration is for 10, 20 years. If you talk about the industrial design, it is 10 plus 5. If you talk about the semiconductor integrated circuit layout designs, it's for 10 years. That means for that period, for that particular period, no one can use your invention, right, without your consent. Like you will be having economic benefit, you'll be having the right over it, right? So you are ultimately the owner, right? You're the owner, you're the inventor, you're the boss for your work. If anyone have to use it, he have to take your permission, simple as that. And to maintain the harmony, because to maintain the harmony for like different kind of skill set of the people, it have to have a recognition is very, very important. It works similar way. For example, the way we get recognition from our seniors, the way we get a recognition from our parents, the way we become happy, similarly for your work, the government of India is giving you recognition in the forms of term for protection. So that is the major objective why to go for IPR, because it's up to you how you will be managing it. Either you'll be selling your work to earn it, either you'll be giving on royalty basis, right? Either you'll be working in collaborative manner. So that is the way you can also take an economic benefit over your work. That plays a very, very important role over here, my dear friends. Let's have a look. Let's go for the next slide, please. So let's have a look. Let's have a look each and every different type of IPR in much more detailed manner. Thank you so much. Can we have the next slide, please? So let's start with the patent. So patent is something like some exclusive right or a privilege an inventor or an owner will be getting from the government of India. So the period for which the patent is granted for, can we have the answer for this? What is the period the patent is granted for under government of India? Can anyone answer into the chat room? Amazing, amazing, Fernandez. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Lilith. Amazing. Now the question would be, thank you so much, Anup Kumar, sir. Thank you so much. Now the question would be to various, thank you so much, Shweta. Now the question would be for all these researchers, the inventors who are there into this audience, amazing audience over here. Ki, when do we get that 20 years? Okay, there are many questions to the audience like, do we get the 20 years after the grant of the patent, or after the examination of the patent, or when we file the patent from that date? So the term for protection, my dear friends, you get from the date of the filing. So that is the logic. So on the day you file a patent, but obviously it goes to the process, it will take at least 2.5 years or 2 years or 3 years in some cases. But the date of filing, from that date you will be getting the grant. But obviously you'll be getting the grant after 3 years or 2.5 years after facing the examination. So, but the date what they will consider is from the date of the filing, the 20 years. So that we have to keep in mind. So there are many examples of the patent, like Apple's new technology, Shake to Charge. Like you can talk about the patented medicines, Combiflam, and so on. Okay, so let's have I've kept few MCQ based questions after like almost like we have 9 different types of IPR. So after every after every 6 or 7 of the IPR, I've kept a small MCQ questions just to make you much more confident in that. Okay, so you can answer into your chat room. Okay, there'll be 2 questions. Every question will be displayed for 15 seconds. Everything is timed up. Okay, so you have to be very quick in answering into the chat room by mentioning the question number and your answer. Like question number 1, if you feel the answer is C or A or B, in that way. Question number 2, you answer A, B, C in that way. Okay, so it will take 15 seconds. Automatically you'll see the question, you have to answer it, and once you finish 15 seconds, you will see the correct answers. So everything is timed up. So best of luck to this amazing audience. So here we go for it. Here we have the first question. What protects the intellectual property created by the inventors? Copyright, geographical indication, patent, registered design, trademark. Amazing. We have answer from Dr. Anand Kumar, Shweta, Yogita, Mayank. Amazing, amazing. We are amazing audience we are having. Dr. Shial. Yes. The question number 2 is Bashir. How do long the patent usually last for? Sujit. And the correct answers are everyone did right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes, when you talk about the inventors, it is all about patent. And the life for a patent is for 20 years. Amazing audience. Thank you so much for being so active. The next one, what we'll be discussing, will be about the trademark. So trademark is something like any product, any brand. So it is something like it is all about signs, symbol, alphabets. Something. Let's take a famous example about McDonald's, right? We always see a Joker kept outside a McDonald's, and we always see like the M, which is written in yellow color, right? We look at that brand, we look at the logo, and we have a like intuits, right? Intuition in our mind. Yes, over here we'll get a good quality food over here. That is the basic funda of having a trademark. So it defines the credibility of any company, any product, and so on. So like we have a various example about the slice slice which are written on the bottle, right? The shape of the Coca-Cola bottle, the ringtone of Nokia MI phone, punchline of Lay's, Pal Banai Magical, and so on. And there are some trademark, my dear friends, which becomes very generic. Like the Xerox trademark, my dear friends, which was registered in 1952, but by 1970, my dear colleagues, it almost became generic, very generic. Like everyone who used to call photostat or photocopy, everyone started calling like everything photocopy or photostat by as a Xerox. So there are some of the examples of the trademark which becomes very generic. And when you talk about the trademark, there are like 45 different classes in which you can register your trademark. Okay, so either like it is divided into two categories, my dear friends. Either your company or your services or your or your company or something would be into service segment or into a good segment. Okay, so like 1 to like when you talk about the 1 to 35, so it is like about the for the service category, and the remaining 36 to 45 like it is a sorry 1 to 35 is for the goods category, 36 to 45 is for the service segments. So it works in that way. 1 to 35 for the goods category, 36 to 45 is for the service segment. And for in case like if you feel your institution or your institute have not registered a trademark and you really want you feel you can take an initiation for it, so you can register your institute educational institute trademark under the class 41. So your class 41 is especially for the educational institutes. So if you feel your institute trademark is not registered, you can go and register under class of 41. So that's a small brief about the trademark, my dear friends. So let's have a small few questions on trademark just to make it more interesting. Few of the famous example of the trademarks. You'll be having one questions and that will be displayed for 15 seconds. That's it. Okay. And here we go for it. What is the duration of trademark registration as
I
defined by the
request to
trademark
all participants, please mute yourself.
1999? So with this, we come to know the Trademark Act was formed in 1999 with this question, and the answer everyone have done right. Thank you so much for being so active. Very nice, amazing audience. So the correct answers which everyone have done, Dr. Nitin, everyone. Thank you so much. Yes. So we have finished patent, we have finished trademark. Let's go to the third one. That is the industrial design, my dear friends. I'll be very short and brief about the industrial design. And within 1 or 2 lines, we'll understand what do you mean by industrial design, what kind of products can be registered under it. My dear friends, industrial design is something like it doesn't depend upon the functioning of a product, not at all. It is all about the look and feel about the product. Industrial design is all about the look and feel for the product. It does not depend upon the functioning of the product. Let's make it very clear. The design could be a two-dimensional, okay, something like a chocolate wrappers and so on. It could be three-dimensional, like shape of a sports bike. It could be a combination of both. For example, like let's talk about Mercedes, right? If Mercedes is having a very elegant color, a unique color, and having a unique shape, so it can have an industrial design on both the category, 2D as well as 3D on a particular object. So it can be in both the categories, 2D as well as 3D. So that is a small brief about industrial design. Many of them have a confusion like industrial design also involves the functioning of the product. It doesn't involve it. It is all about the look and feel about the product. So example, if you want to register a design patent, It won't ask you how it is functioning and so on. It is all about the design, about the top view, front view, left side view, right side view, bottom view, and so on. So that is the way it works, my dear friends. So let's have a small MCQ based question on the industrial design. So we'll be having two questions for it. Every question will be displayed for 15 seconds. So you can make the chat room really effective, and it could be a learning. So what is encompassed in design as per intellectual property law? Feature, configuration, patterns, all of these above. Dr. Bharat, thank you. Shweta, Dr. Anand Kumar, Dr. Kurde, Dr. Lalit Kumar, Mayank, Shalja, Jareen, Dr. Ravate, Silva, thank you so much. Can we have the right answer, please? What is the duration of the design registered under Design Act 2000? What is the duration of the Design Act registered under the Design Act 2000? So with this we understood, yes, the Design Act was registered under 2000. The Trademark Act was in 1999 and the Patent Act is 1970. So few things we'll understand with the different question or different content as well. Saroj, thank you so much. Can we have the right answers, please? It includes all of the above. It includes the feature, configuration, everything, and the pattern as well. We talk about the design, but not the working. And the duration is for 10 years. So once it complete 10 years, you can, if you want an extension, you can apply for an extension, but you will get for more 5 years. So in total, like 10 plus 5 years format. The next one will be having a look for copyright. We have finished the patent, we have finished trademark, we have finished industrial design. Let's go for the copyright. So copyright is something which is concerned with the any original literature, any artistic work, any articles, and so on. It could be any dramatic, any musical, artistic, cinematography, film, and so on. It could be copyright could be like in like for example, let's take one of the example would be Three Idiots, right? It was basically it was made in Hindi, right? But later on we had the copyright acts, and we could sold the we have sold the rights to Chinese people, then they have converted into Chinese, and like in fact the Chinese segment made almost 3.5 times the money what it made in India. So there are many examples like we can convert a novel into a theater play. We could convert a novel into a films. Like for example, Tooth Stays, one of the movie which was based on Chetan Bhagat's novel, right? So there are many various examples of the copyright. So if you feel yes, your novel, your something, it is very powerful. It could be converted into something else. It's always better to have a copyright. One is like copyright which is non-registered, where you write the copyright and you say yes, it is copyright, but you don't register it. But the other type is here the registered kind of copyright, where you get the life of protection, that is 60 years plus the life of the author, right? 60 life of the author plus 60 years after his death. So that is a huge time you get for that particular article, for that particular literature. So it is always better if you're writing a novel, if you're writing an article, always better to copyright your content. So that's a small brief about the copyright, my dear colleagues. So let's have a small MCQ based question on copyright. So there'll be two questions, okay? So every question will be displayed for 15 seconds. You can write answer into a chat room. Let's make the chat room really effective. It could be our classroom, a teaching learning experience over here. First one, it is a little trickier question. Best of luck, audience. A little trickier question. Is unpublished book can be registered under Copyright Act in India? Yes, no, yes in some cases. Little trickier question. Let's see. It is a little trickier question. Thank you, Supriya. Thank you, Selva. Thank you, Shial. Nibeta. Thank you. Can we have the next question? Dr. Shweta, thank you. The Copyright Act in 1957 it came into effect. Like at this point, I didn't cover into the content. I'll tell you the answer over here because that's my responsibility. The Copyright Act was formed in 1957, my dear audience, but the Act came into effect in January 1958. It was formed in 1957, but by the time it came into effect, by January 1958. The correct answer is when you talk about the unpublished work, yes, it can be published. A published work cannot be republished. An unpublished work, yes, it can be published. It was a little trickier question, my dear friends. I appreciate everyone have initiated at least. That is amazing. And the question number two, it was the act was formed in 1957, but the act came into effect from January 1958. So let's have a look for the geographical indication. So with this, before going for the geographical indication, I need the help of this amazing audience. I need two things from your end. One thing is that I need your native place, number one, and along with that, I need which is the product which is really very famous from a native place. Where if people do visit to your native place and they feel like no, if we are visiting this place, we should really purchase this product from this location. So I need two things from this amazing audience. Mention your native place, mention your the product. It could be a manufactured product, it could be a handicraft, it could be a food item, anything it can be. Anything. Just mention it. Just mention your native place and mention what is the product which is really very famous. Either it could be your native place, either it could be your friend's native place which you have observed it. You can mention into the chat room. Let's make it very interesting so that everyone can understand what do we mean by geographical indication. So like it is something like when you talk about geographical indication, it's something like you're giving a tag to a product for its quality. So it depends like where it is originated from. It defines the quality, it defines the reputation of that particular product. For example, if I visit Jammu Kashmir, I know that Jammu Kashmir is famous for this XYZ reasons for it. I'll definitely purchase that those two things, right? Similarly, if the exporter, if the importer, if so on, if they are working, if they want to purchase, if for example, if a people from Singapore, if they want to purchase a fruit, and they note that this particular fruit is very famous from Jammu Kashmir, and they won't purchase that fruit from Delhi, they won't purchase that fruit from Maharashtra, they won't purchase that fruit from Karnataka, and so on. They will purchase that food where it is originated from, right? So that they are very assured with the quality. So that is the advantage of the geographical indication. So that is the tag system is being there in place so that the tag is given to a particular product, and with the help of the tags, any people who doesn't know about it, where this product is originated from, so with the help of the tag, they will come to know yes, the tag, this product tag is given for this particular state. For example, if the people know about the Lucknow kurta, yes, UP, the Lucknow is one of the very famous for that cloth. The South is very famous for that cloth and that particular region. So in that is the way it works, and it helps the farmers, it helps the manufacturer in the economic benefit because people will prefer that particular product and that particular area. For example, we had a very huge the season for mangoes, right? So I'll talk about Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, there is a place in Konkan. Okay, so in Konkan is very famous for mangoes, and that category is for Alfonso mangoes. Okay, so for example, if Alfonso mangoes goes into the market, it has a very good value compared to the other mangoes. Initially, when the season starts. For example, if a person who doesn't belong to Konkan, he belongs to somewhere else, but he's selling a mango in the name that this mango belongs to Konkan. That means he's infringing the rights of the people from Konkan, right? He's doing illegal thing that is not allowed. So in that case, there are two people who can really take action against it. One is the registered proprietor. One is the people who are working over there, the producer. So these are the two people who will take the action against them. It is not the government who will take the action. There have to be a third entity who will take the action, who will report to the government. Then the government will take the further action. That is the way it works, my dear friends. Okay. Can we have the next slide, please, so that people can understand the tax system? This is very old, like 2017 chart, just for your understanding. Like the Karnataka had 39 different tags. That mean the tax could be in the 39 tax could be some fruits, some handicrafts, I mean so on. So the more the tags, the people will approach more for the trading purpose, right? So it depends in that way. Almost like people have made the chat room very effective by answering it various stuff like halwai from Rajuri walnuts, Dashiri mangoes, banana chips, yellow patnai, black paper. Amazing. You already have made the chat room very interesting because this is something all about geographical indication. If you feel your native place, the product which is not very famous, which is very famous at your native place, but is still not registered under geographical indication, it is still not registered as a tag, you can also work for it. This could also be one of the way you can initiate, could be your research project, my dear friends. You can also work for this kind of segment also. It is not necessarily everyone should work only for patent. They can also work for geographical indication also, no matter whatever field you belong to. So can we have the next slide, please? So again, we'll be having two questions. Again, both the question will be displayed for 15 seconds. Okay, so let's go for it. You have almost made the chat room very effective. Thank you so much for being so sporty. The question number one is, which of the following is or are included in geographical indication of goods? Handicraft, foodstuff, manufacturer, D, all of the above. Thank you, Supriya, for being so fast. You are very quick, Supriya. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Dr. Anand Kumar, thank you so much. Anup Kumar, thank you. Question number two, very trickier question. Who can initiate an action for the infringement of a geographical indication? If someone is selling illegally, right, by naming that particular brand, the government, the registered proprietor, the authorized user, an individual having that interest, only 2 and 3, F, all of the above. Thank you so much, Dr. Ravate. Thank you. And the correct answers are yes, the handicraft, foodstuff, manufacturer, everything is included in geographical indication. And we talk about the question number two. It is the registered proprietor and the authorized user. Few of the people have said only the registered proprietor. Few of them have said all of the above. No, it is not all of the above. It doesn't include government at the initial step. It is the registered proprietor and the authorized user. They will take the initial action against them if someone is if they find someone illegal doing it, and then the government will take the action against that. Okay. So let's go for the next one. That is our trade secrets. It is something like, my dear friends, like you don't want to reveal something, because what happens, like someone had said ki, if there is no registration, why the IPR is being granted for it? There was someone in this audience who had a question for it. So your answer to it is, when you talk about the trade secret, there are like something, when you want to register it, you put into document, right, my dear colleague? You draft the document, you so that you can give it to registration. But there are some secrets which people don't want to reveal it, because they are scared that if they reveal it, if they put into document, if they go for the registration, there is high chances that people will copy it, because there is a limit to, like, you can stop people, right? Because if, for example, if you have registered into India and the people is copying into Canada, there is a limit to it. You have to also register into same thing into Canada. Then only you can stop it. Because once you register your patent, my dear friends, or when you register any IPR, that is only validated for that particular territory. It is not validated to any other country. If the registration of IPR is done in India, it is only valid into India. It is not valid in any other country. If you want to make it valid, you have to register into that country as well. Okay, that's the reason they don't register the idea. They don't register the concept. For example, let's take an example of, again, about McDonald's, right? You have a McDonald's burger in Delhi, you have a McDonald's burger in Jammu Kashmir, you have a McDonald's burger in Kerala, you have it in Karnataka. The taste remain the same. You have in Dubai, the taste will remain the same. Why? Because the sausage, what they are using it's really unique. The ingredients they are using is really unique. So they don't want to reveal it, right? So that, because if they reveal it, if they put into document, they put for the registration, so like there are high chances that people will copy it, and they will use they will lose the economic benefit in the market what they are already having it. So that is the reason there is no act, no rule. It is up to the person how good he can keep that particular secret. We'll take one of the fantastic example of the trade secret, which is one of the very oldest brand. Can we have the next slide, please? This is one of the oldest brand, which is almost close to 150 years. They have stored into Walter Bank of in Atlanta, and they don't want to reveal the secret. That is so secret it is. In fact, they recently, when they had like completed 145 years or 140 years, during that they have revealed, they had taken from the vault, and during the party they have kept in they had kept that this thing about the ingredients, the copy of that ingredients into the party as well. That is the time they had, last time they have removed that content. So that is, they have kept it so secretly, because once they reveal that, they will lose the advantage. Like, people will start copying it about the ingredient. So that is one of the fantastic example for trade secret, my dear friends. Can we have the next slide, please? Again, we'll have a one question on trade secret. That's it for 15 seconds. We can have it. We can have a discussion in the chat room itself for this question. Here we go for it. Here we go for it. It's 3, 2, 1. Let's go for it. What is not valid for a legal nature of a confidential information? One of the trickiest question for this webinar. What is not valid? The important point is not valid. What is not valid for the legal nature? What is not valid for the legal nature? That is the crux. And the answer is the confidential information is a property. Why? I'll explain you. The question said ki what is not valid. Okay. Why? Since you cannot register, right? There is no act, no rules. So it cannot be called as a property. Property, you can call it something which we will be registering it. B, C, and D are all valid points. Only the point number A was not valid because you cannot call it. You can call it the confidential knowledge. You cannot call it the confidential property. So that's the basic difference, my dear friends. Okay, let's have a look for the next one. The next is your traditional knowledge. Again, let's make a chat room really effective. Okay, before like I move ahead with it, I need help from this amazing audience. I need some knowledge which you have got from your grandparents, either from your parents, either from your neighbors from your native place, either from your elders from your native place. Some traditional knowledge which could really help in some kind of medicines, in some kind of health, or something for your skin, anything, any natural remedy which you got from your parents, which you got from your elders, which you got from your grandparents, and so on. If you can mention into the chat room, trust me, everyone can easily understand the meaning of traditional knowledge. My dear friends, this was initiated by CSIR in 2001, where they felt no, there is a need to protect this as well. It is done with the help of the health ministry for it, and they are funding for it. And it was initiated in 2001. In fact, they have made a website also. TKDL, that's a website for it. Whenever whoever feels if they want to visit the website, they are most welcome for it. It's Traditional Knowledge Digital Library, TKDL. So it's mentioned over there all the traditional knowledge in various categories. It could be in horticulture, it could be in fishery, it could be in agriculture, and so on. So every traditional knowledge under India, because India is very, very rich when you talk about the traditional knowledge system. And we all have also like seen it. We have also like felt it when we are native place, we avoid using medicines, right? We always use something which have been suggested by our elders, right? It could be from the leaves, it could be from the like natural therapy, something like that, right? And people have already started answering it, something like turmeric, right? Like in spite of for hair falls, they start using it, something which is very natural therapy. And in over here, like in urban cities, we start using something medicine, right? We start eating, even in fact, we start eating tablets as well. But over there, we don't use it because we trust like yes, the traditional therapy what we have in our native place is fantastic. So that is something. Everything has been mentioned into the TKDL website, and they have kept revolving it. They have kept evolving for it. When they have initiated in 2001, after that, in from last 19 years, they have made a very good journey over here because they felt yes, in India, this is the need for it, and they have to protect it. And because initially, when the basmati rice, when it was registered as under USPTO, they have revoked the basmati patent because they know the basmati belongs to India. And it was patented under US patent, and they had filed a case against them, and they have won that case. So basmati is under Indian patent because that's an Indian product. So that's a small brief about the traditional knowledge, my dear friends. Can we have the next slide, please? Since the topic was very simple, so no questions have been kept for it. Plant breeders' right, again, like we know it, India, like we have an amazing variety of plants. And we have seen there are two categories when you talk about the term for protection. One is the trees and vines for 25 years, and any other plant, it's for 20 years. Again, like plant breeders' right is basically divided into three different segments. One is agriculture, One is the horticulture, one is the forestry. The plant breeders right is also known as the plant varieties of in 2001. So it is also recognized in that way also. So like any new varieties of the plant, if you feel it is medicinal plant and it can have a huge economic benefit, you can also register under this category, and you can earn also a economic benefit also can be granted to you. So this kind of things, like many of the farmers are not aware of it. If we can have a good like platform for them to share this kind of stuff, and they can really start having a hybrid kind of farming, it could really benefit them. And like you can really observe like the green farming is taken at a different level in India. And like you could have already read, there are so many qualified people from my and even they have studied agriculture stuff. So they have seen the
Dr. Rao,
potential in
can you please
agriculture.
mute yourself?
They have seen the potential in agriculture. They have seen the potential in horticulture. They have seen the potential in forestry. So that's the backbone of how
Manish sir, can you please mute to Mr. Rao? Manish sir,
okay, Dr. Singh. We'll wait for someone audio
Manish
is.
sir, just 1 minute, sir.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So that's a small brief about the plant breeders, right? We can go for the next slide. Uh, one or two basic questions on plant breeders, right? Can we have the next slide, please? Two questions for 15 seconds. That's it. Let's go for it. Three, two, one. Best of luck, my dear audience. After years of research, again a trickier question for this amazing audience. After years of research, a scientist grows an entirely new variety of plant which does not exist earlier. The flower of the new plant have a great medicinal value. Can this new variety of the plant be patented in India? Yes or no? A trickier question. Thank you, Fernandez. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bharat. Thank you, Silva. Thank you. Let's go to the next question. In the previous example of a new variety of the plant having the flowers with the medicinal value, the protection can be veiled. The new plant varieties we have discussed it since because I think because of the sound we have a disturbance. I'll repeat this answer. Yeah, the plant breeders right is also known as the Protection of Plant Varieties and the Farmers Right Act 2001. The plant breeders right is also known as, my dear friends, the Protection of Plant Varieties and the Farmers Right Act 2001. People who might have faced disturbance, that's the reason I'm repeating this answer. Question number one, it's completely for you. Can we have the answers, please? Can we have the next slide, please? The correct answers are yes. If it is completely new, if it is not registered, yes, you can. Completely, yes, you can. And the second one we have already discussed. The Plant Breeders' Right is also known as the Protection of Plant Varieties and the Farmers' Right Act 2001. Next, please. Next slide, please. Then the last of the IPR is your semiconductor circuit integrated layout design. It's especially for the people who are really working into circuit designs, IT industries, and so on. So they can start working on this segment also, because like this effort, this kind of circuits, it requires lots of efforts, lots of laborative efforts, lots of intellect is required for it. That is the reason they felt that no, there have to be a different entity for it, different kind of IPR, especially for this circuit, semiconductor circuit integrated layout designs. So anyone who is working into circuit, they can really start working into this segment also. So you have a separate entity for this, where the duration is for 10 years. And it could be like you can start designing. It could be a layout designs. It could be a nano designs. It can be anything. It is very this complete the market the registration market is completely open to you. It could be a double layer design, it could be a single layer designs, it could be analog, it could be digital. It completely you have an open choice for it when you talk about semiconductor circuit designs. And the duration is for we have already know it's for 10 years. So that's a small brief, my dear colleagues. We have gone for it. Can we have the next slide, please? So with this, we have seen all the different 9 types of the IPR, and one is a patent, trademark, industrial design. The next three is the copyright, geographical indication, trade secret. The next three is plant breeders right, which is also another protection of plant varieties, 2001, traditional knowledge, and the last one is your semiconductor integrated circuit designs. That's a small brief to this amazing audience. All the 9 different types of the IPR. I know key everything cannot be covered, but trust me, a different all the common FAQ questions for all this 9 different types of IPR have been made, like almost 112 question. Can we have the next slide, please? So 121 FAQ question have been made for you for the audience to so that if you feel this particular for example if you want to study but plan readers right in more detail, all the common question which could be generated to your mind, everything has been made well in advance because I know ki every doubt cannot be cleared in this session. That's the reason this FAQ question specially made for this audience. You can refer it. I will also send the link where you can download this FAQ question to Professor Vishal once I complete my session. So don't worry about it. Any question which won't be answered, you can. I'm very sure it can be cleared. But if you think it cannot be cleared with the FAQ question, I'll leave all my details with you over here. We can have a short discussion about it. This was a complete 1 hour, the complete almost 56 minutes. In fact, to precise 52 minutes, what we have invested in this today's session. We have understood this 9 different types of IPR, which is there under Government of India. The next agenda, the next coming 55 minutes or next coming 50 minutes or next coming 45 minutes will be focusing on the patent, the basic Indian patent filing, the process of application of Indian patent, and the display of 60 plus patent designs. The simple designs, not a heavy design, very simple designs, just to make you motivated that everyone can do it and even we can do it. It is the matter of only time and patience. That's it, my dear friends. Okay, can we have the next slide, please? Okay, we'll have a short 2-3 minutes refreshment break. You can have water, you can fresh yourself for it. So that and by the time if no one wants to take a break, they can discuss with me in the chat room. If you have any query for it, I'll be very happy to help you out. We can have a 3-4 minutes break with the permission of Dr. Vishal sir. Okay, it's almost 4:57. We can start at 5:01 or 5:02, maximum 5:02. That's it. If anyone wants to clear the doubt, they can please shoot your questions over here. I'll be very happy to answer it. We'll start exactly at 5:02 in 5 minutes. Either you can write your question into the chat room, either you can unmute yourself, you can ask your question. Whatever way you feel, you can put your questions to it. I'll be really happy to answer it. Even if I don't know it, I'll make sure I'll get back to you within 24 hours. You cannot pay, you can register it. It depends ki you have to check up prior arts. For example, if you want to register a coconut tree, right? So you have to see what kind of varieties which is already been registered under a patent or under a plant breeders right. So there is a prior arts which you have to check for it under Government of India, and you have to see ki if your plant or your hybrid plant is completely unique, then only you can go for it. Before registering it, any kind of IPR, you have to check the previous record. That is very important. At the end of the session, I'll be sharing the 2 links where you can check the prior arts. The complete process, if you go with the ordinary application, the complete process for a patent, if I'm talking about, let's talk about only about the patent, okay? For patent, it will take almost 2.5 years to 3 years maximum. And if you go for a fast track process, It can get over in 18 months or to 15 months as well. One of the major time factor is that there should not be any amendments from the team. For example, if there is amendment from the team, from the controller, from the examiner, if they feel this should be changed, this should be changed, this is objectionable, and so on. So that will take a huge time. If there is no objectionable, everything goes very smooth, then the duration can be very, very shorter, between 15 to 18 months. If you are a startup, and so like 80% can be rebated by the government of India. That is the advantage what startups are having it according to new government law. So once your patent is granted, the 80% is rebated by the government of India. Any other question from this amazing audience? No, you should not publish a paper. First, you have to apply for a patent. Don't publish the paper. If it is made public, then getting a patent would be very, very difficult, my dear colleague. If you're very confident, I'll give you 3 different parameters, my dear colleagues, how you can really be very confident. Can you go for a patent or not? I'll tell you that those 3 criteria, which has been stated by the government of India. I'll explain you that. We will be having one complete slide for that. If you feel your work satisfy all those 3 criteria, trust me, go for a application for it. Yeah, programming codes can be copyrighted. Yes, it can be. Yes, 100%. Role of a patent agent. Patent agent is completely a freelancer person. Okay, he is not a government employee. He helps you for the prosecution of your application from the application stage till the grant stage. He's like an advocate, right? But like if you file a case with someone, for example, if you're filing a case to me, okay, I had done something wrong to you. If you're filing a case to me, you'll be hiring an advocate, right? Similarly, the patent agent is the same role. So he'll be taking your application, patent application. He'll be prosecuting your application on your behalf, complete application from the application till the grant stage. That's the role of the patent agent. Patent agent or patent attorney. It's 5:01. We'll start in 1 minute. We'll start a session in 1 minute. Anyone else? Any question, my dear colleagues? Anything you want to answer? Anything it could be related, especially related to any patent. I have a decent knowledge about all the different types of IPR, but I have a very good expertise for a patent. Thank you, thank you. So it's 5:02. I think we can start a session over here. We don't have any questions over here to answer it. I think our audience, with your permission and with can we start the session, please? Can we continue it? Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's start understanding few of the different terms. Like before filing a patent, let's understand who are the people involved in the patent office, what are the rules and regulations, and so on. Okay. Number one thing is your patentee. So patentee is something the term is given to the patent owner, the the person who will be filing an application, okay, on his behalf. So that person is categorized under patentee. The second one is an assignee, my dear friends. Okay, so let's understand what is an assignee. For example, if a patentee could be Dr. Nitin and Dr. Shrikant. Okay, Dr. Nitin, Dr. Shrikant would be a patentee if they have a patent, and if they want to assign it to someone. Okay, the assignee, for example, they are giving the rights completely to some other third person. So that is something known as an assignee. An assignee could be in that way. Dr. Rawate and Dr. Rashmi and Gujrit or Hiral could be an assignee. This all 4 people wish kini they should buy this patent from these 2 people, and they could be termed as an assignee. So once the patent is granted to these 4 people and they would be termed as assignee, that means the complete right has been transferred to them. That means they have the right to sell it. They have the right to give it on rent or give it on royalty basis, anything. So in short, like assignee could be, in simple language, could be understood as a new owner of a patent. Okay, so that could be an assignee. Let's understand the word licensee. Okay, so licensee would be something like, for example, we have Selva, we have Shweta. Okay, these are the two people. These are the two different people. Okay, they really feel, they even this patent could be really be benefited to them. Okay, but they feel, they don't want to purchase it. That would be really be very expensive. They feel, they what they can do it, they can take that patent, they can take that idea on rental basis. Okay, in that way. So that is something considered as a licensee. So that is something known as a licensee. So they are taking the right of the patent, but they are not taking the right for a patent for like as a new owner, but they are taking the right for the patent for a very limited period of a time. So that is known as licensing. Like how we give a property on rent, right? So similarly on that basis, like a person is staying in a property, but he doesn't own that. He doesn't own a property. He's staying for a particular limited of period of time. So once that period is completed, he can check out. So that is the term. That is the meaning of a licensee, my dear friends. Okay, so it completely depends upon the owner. Either he want to give it to a assignee. Okay, so he can do all that business, and he's completely selling it off in XYZ amount. Either he can license it for a particular period. If he's, I don't want to sell it, I want to license it for 3-4 years. Then let's see the economic benefit in the market. Then I'll think of selling it or further licensing it to someone else. The next is your exclusive license and non-exclusive license. So let's understand this in much more detail by taking few examples. For example, take an example for like we have Selva, we have Shweta. Okay, so next the example of Selva and Shweta. They both have a product. Okay, and they have two options. Like Selva is some other mind, and Shweta is having some other mind, but they have both have made one product. Selva thinks, what we can do. We have made this product. Let's give this product to one manufacturer. She tells to Shweta, because she tells Shweta ki if we give it only for one manufacturer, if something goes wrong with our product, if our design is leaked or our manufacturing funda have been leaked, so she's explaining to Shweta that at least we'll come to know, Shweta, ki who have done this wrong. Okay, because the right is only given to one person, and that is the right is known as an exclusive license. That means no one can manufacture it except that person in the complete territory. When I say territory, that means in India, because the right is given for a country, right? This patent is not valid for any other country. Okay, so this is something known as an exclusive license. Okay, and Shelva will explain to Shweta. Listen, Shweta, if we go for exclusive license, that means we will have a control over it. Okay, in that way, at least what margin we are getting it. But Shweta explains to Selva. Selva, listen. If we go for exclusive license, what are the disadvantages? I understood what are the advantages. Shweta said to Selva. Okay, I understood what are the advantages, that like anything manufacturing funda cannot be leaked. Or so if it is leaked, we will be very clear who have done it. But Shweta, on the contrary, explained to Selva. Selva, listen. For example, like if you are giving to only one vendor, one manufacturer has a limit of manufacturing. He can manufacture 5,000, 5,000, 10,000. It has to have a limit, right? What if we go for a non-exclusive license? If we go for a non-exclusive license, we can give it to 11 different manufacturers in 11 different states. So in that way, Shweta explains to Selva, that means we'll be earning from 11 different manufacturers. That means from 11 different incomes we'll be getting it. That means if we talk about the economic benefits, Shweta says if in terms of economic benefits, exclusive won't work well. Exclusive will work well only in case of infringement. That means no one can use a product. Okay. But in case of economic benefit, in case of monetary benefits, non-exclusive will perform better. And in that case, like if we go for non-exclusive, then the first lot we have given to 11 different states, and later on we can start increasing also. We can give to n number of different manufacturers by deciding the territory for them. So that is a basic difference between the exclusive license and non-exclusive license. It is not about which is good or which is bad. Both have the advantage, both have the disadvantage. It is up to the inventor. So in our case, the inventor was Selva and Shweta. So they have to decide what is their objective. Their objective is that the first primary objective is monetary benefit, then they will go for non-exclusive license. if their first objective is that the idea, everything should not be disclosed in any manner, it should not be leaked in any manner, so in that case they will not take risk, they will go for an exclusive license. So it completely depends upon the inventor, my dear friends. Okay, so that's the basic thing. We have understood the 5 different things. We have understood patentee, we have understood assignee, we have understood licensee, we have understood the exclusive license, we have understood a non-exclusive license, my dear friends. Okay, so can we go for the next slide, please? Thank you. So I hope with this audience everything is clear. I hope you understood the patentee. Okay, so can we have one line answer? What did you understand by the word patentee in the chat room? So at least we can have a short revision for every slide. What did you understand by the word patentee? Yes, Dr. Nitin. Amazing, amazing, sir. Shweta, Yogendra, Dr. Bharat, Fernandez. Amazing, amazing. Yes, correct. What did you understand by the word assignee? What did you understand by the word assignee? Amazing, Supriya. Dr. Lalit, amazing. Yes. Dr. Kurdik, Kavita, amazing. Yes. A completely new owner. Yes. Transfer of technology. Okay. What did you understood by the word licensee? Yes, Kanchana. What did you understood by the word licensee? Yes. Owner of the license, Fernandez. Perfect, perfect. Amazing. But for a particular limit of time. Yes, Kanchana. Dr. Nitin. Amazing, Dr. Lalit. Kavita. Yes. Yes, Supriya. Perfect, perfect, Yogita. Amazing, Yogita. Thank you, thank you. Next thing. If I am looking for a monetary benefits, which license should I go for? Exclusive or non-exclusive? If I'm looking for a monetary benefits, which license should I go for? Exclusive or non-exclusive? Amazing, Dr. Bharat Hiral. If I'm looking for monetary benefits, which license should I go for? No, the answer is non-exclusive. And non-exclusive is something like you can give it license to many vendors, many manufacturers. In exclusive, you can give it to only one person. So there will be limitation to the manufacturing, there will be limitation to the product, and there have to be limitation to the royalty as well. Okay, so when you give it to 11 different people, but obvious in that case you will earn more. So when you talk about the monetary benefits, non-exclusive will perform better, my dear colleagues. Okay, and in case of like if you're looking, no, it should not be leaked. In case of infringement, it should not be taken by someone else, it should not be copied. So in case of infringement, which license will perform better? Amazing, Supriya. Amazing, amazing. Yes. Dr. Nitin, Supriya, Dr. Lalit, Sihal, Shweta, Dr. Kudre. So amazing, amazing. That's it. Exclusive will perform better. So that's a small brief about it. So because before you go for patent, you should understand these terms. So you can take a proper decision for it. Let's understand who are the people involved into the patent office. With this slide, we'll understand who are the people involved over here. Okay. So let's start with it. So when we talk about the first thing, if you talk about the patent office, okay, there are 4 patent office in India. Okay, it is divided according to jurisdiction. One is in Mumbai, which is having the head office for the patent, Kolkata, Delhi, and Chennai. So these are the 4 patent office which is divided according to jurisdiction. I'll tell you in further slide what is the jurisdiction for each of the patent office. Okay. The second one is this is the patent office funda, where if you want to go for offline filing, you can visit his office. But if you want to go for online, you can directly file through your web link, and you don't have to visit to patent office, not at all. In fact, even the government is promoting for the online filing. The second one is your examiner. Whenever you give your application to the patent office, my dear friends, the first step is the application will be received by the examiner. The examiner will be receiving application. He'll be checking your every in and detail. Is your content objectionable? Is your content very similar to your already published? Is your content valid? Is there any spelling mistake or any other? So all the correction, all the requirement will be checked by the patent office. All your documents are in place or not, and so on. Once it has been cleared by the examination, it will be sent for the next step, that is a controller. Controller is something like how we have a principal in our college. The same thing the controller is. So controller is the head of the patent office. Controller is like having the rights. Either he can reject your patent, either grant your patent. He is the highest authority in the patent office, my dear colleagues. Examiner, controller, and the next one is your. Let's talk about the patent agent. Like someone said about the patent agent. Patent agent, my dear friends, is they are not the government employees. Trust me. Let's make it very clear. Few people think they are government employee, but they are not a government employee. We have a patent agent examination. In fact, every 2 or 3 years, we have an examination being conducted by the government of India, IPSL, for the patent agent. In fact, this year the examination was on 28th of June, but due to COVID-19, it has been delayed. So, like anyone having any graduate degree, they can apply for the patent agent examination with having a desired knowledge for it. So they are like some person or third entity, a freelancer person who can prosecute your application on your behalf. From the application stage to the grant stage. So whenever you have to appear for it, they can appear on your behalf. So that is the rule. Either a patent agent you can hire, either a patent attorney you can hire. So it varies up to your requirement. You have to see the expertise to your product, to your patent, who can justify them, who have the experience to that patent filing of related to your product. The next is the opposition board. Okay. Opposition board is something like when you file an application for it, my dear friends. Okay. After once you file your application, even before the grant of the patent. Okay. So for example, let's talk about, for example, me, Kavita, Mayank, Fernandez, Shial, Professor Kudre, Shabir, Santosh, Saroj, Selva, everyone. Like, for example, we as a team of 10 people, okay, we have filed an application. Okay. If we have filed an application, if even before the grant of the patent, if someone feels like, for example, if Shweta feels like or Yogita feels like, no, this should not be proceed further, this is completely contradicting my patent which has already been granted, they can appeal for it. They can appeal for it. Yes, this product or this application should not be processed further. So in that case, a opposition board is formed where they can hear both the parties and decide the application should be carried forward further or not. Okay, so this is known as a pre-opposition grant. So in India, we follow both the thing. In India, you have both the options are open for it. Pre-opposition grant is also there, and post-grant opposition is also there. Even like the once a patent is granted, my dear colleagues, after the grant of the patent, till 12 months, the bracket is open like for any opposition. So we have both the option ready, pre-opposition as well as post-opposition. Okay, so that is a small brief about the people who are involved into the patent office and about the opposition board and the patent office and so on. A small brief about it. I hope you got few of the points for it. Okay, can we go for the next slide, please? Can we have the next slide, please? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's have a small recap for the previous slide. How many patent office are there in India? Can you state the number into the chat room? Amazing, amazing, Selva, amazing. Thank you, Kanchana, Fernandez, Yogita, Shalja, Shweta, amazing. Thank you, Dipti. Okay, can you name the 4 patent office in India? Anyone, if they can name the 4 patent office in India? Yes, Mumbai is the head office. Yes. Yes, Dr. Lalit. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for being so sporty. Thank you. Next one. What did you understood by the word controller? Thank you, Professor Kudre. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Nitin. Yes, head. The highest authority of the patent office. Yes, Fernandez. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Shweta. Yes, Hiral. Thank you. Yes. What did you understood by the word examiner? Evaluator. Yes, Kanchana. Very specific. Amazing, Dr. Bharat. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lalit. Dr. Nitin. Thank you. Amazing. In India, which opposition we having? We having a pre-opposition or post-opposition? In India, which opposition is valid? Pre or post? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you, Mayank. Thank you, Shial. Thank you, Yogita. Thank you. Let's go for the next one. What if, for example, let's take a next category. What if we have already applied for the patent and so on? Okay, the publication is done. The publication is received. The examiner have received. The examiner have forwarded to the controller. Okay, and we as a team, for example, it could be like Dr. Ishtiaq, Dr. Shweta, Dr. Ajay Kumar, Dr. Anand Kumar, Dr. Bharat, Dr. Lalit, Dr. Nitin, Dr. Shrikant, Shweta, Dr. Rawate, Dr. Reshmi, Gujrat, Heral, Kanchana, amazing people, Kavita, Dr. Kudre, and we all this as a Shelva, Shweta, we all have formed a team. Dr. Sujit, Supriya, we have formed a team, okay? And we have formed a team and we have applied for a patent. It has cleared the examiner stage. It has gone to the controller. The controller have rejected few amendments, okay? And we as a team, we everyone have started working as a team. And what we did, all the amendments, what was suggested by the controller, we have worked for it and we have resubmitted, and again the controller have rejected for it, and we feel ki no, this rejection was invalid, it should not be rejected. What was the amendment which was done by the controller? Everything have been clarified, everything have been worked for it, everything has been sorted, okay? Still the controller is opposing for it. In that case, we as a team have various opportunities. Either we can go to the highest court of the country, which is the Supreme Court, or we can go to the lowest court of the country. It completely depends upon our case. But of you, initially you start with the lower court, where you start with the civil court, Tehsildar court, and so on, and then you keep on moving. If your case becomes bigger and bigger, you keep on moving to the high court, which is the highest court of a state. If your cases becomes bigger and bigger, you go to the Supreme Court. So, but of you, with this, you understand ki whatever happens, you have the various opportunity where you can appeal for your product. Even if it was rejected by the controller, that is not the end. You can appeal it at higher courts. You can appeal for it, and you can claim your right for the product. It completely depends upon our case. So that's a small history about how you can appeal for it, my dear friends. Can we go for the next slide, please? Priority. Okay. So let's understand by taking some example for when you talk about the priority. For example, if me and Dr. Lalit, okay, me and Dr. Lalit are in one team, okay, and we have some other team. We have me and Dr. Lalit, and we have other team, Dr. Nitin and Dr. Shweta, okay, Dr. Nitin and Dr. Shweta in one team. So in our team, what we have done is we both team are working. For example, one team, me and Dr. Nitin are working for Apple, okay, and the other team, okay, the other team is working for Samsung. Okay, we both are working on a similar product. Okay, we both are, but we don't know each other, but we are still working on a similar product. Okay, but our team, me and Dr. Lalit, we have Dr. Nitin, we have started the work very early, almost like 2.5 years. And the other team, Dr. Nitin and Dr. Shweta, and so like they have started the work very late, like almost like 1 year earlier to it, and they have completed the work almost like 60 to 70%. Okay, and we have completed the work almost like 95%. Okay, we have completed the work almost 95%. Right now, we both want patent for that product. We both want the patent for that product. Okay, we have completed the work 95% above almost, and they have only completed the work 60%. What they did, they had applied for a patent earlier to us, and we applied after a month or so. After completing the 100% of the work, we applied for the patent. Okay, they applied for the patent as a provisional application, not as a complete application, because the work was not completed, but they applied it before. What do you think? They should get a patent, or we will get a patent? They or we? What is your answer? Can you answer into the chat room? They should get a patent or we should get a patent? They or we? Because this is a common doubt and common this thing you guys will face it when you start for your patent. The answer is that they will get the patent. This is, you'll say no, this is sad. They have been working for almost 3 years. These guys are working almost 1.5 years. How? This is unfair. This should not be done. The government of India is not doing right. But you think, my dear friends, the people sitting into the government office, how they will decide, how they will know who have started the work earlier or who haven't? They won't know, right? They will only know once you apply for the patent. That is the reason in India we follow first to file system. That is a priority date. So when you file your application, that is considered as a priority date. So with that particular date, your patent application will be briefed. Now you will say ki, you have gone for a provisional, not even complete. So my dear friends, the point is that in Government of India, you have a system, you can file with a provisional application, my dear friends. And once you file the provisional application, the Government of India gives you 12 months of bracket time where you can complete your application and within 12 months. So that is an advantage. So whoever person who is doing a PhD who feels yes, they'll be coming to a good conclusion within the span of 12 months, they can immediately file the application. They should not wait for the complete product. That is an advantage, my dear friends. You can anytime revoke your patent before the examination. You can get almost 90% of your fees, you can get it back. Unless you don't face the examination, you can get your fees back. So you don't have to worry for it. So if you feel yes, if you can submit within 12 months, you can go for it. That is an advantage, my dear friends. So start working in this scenario. It will really, really be very helpful. Okay. Now there would be some people in this amazing audience. They might be thinking, no, let's go to globally. Why limit ourselves? Why limit our idea? Why limit our work to only to India? Okay, they would feel, why not go for the European countries? Why not go for Canada? Why not go for USA? Why not? So they will think, okay, let's apply for a global application where we can get a patent in all the countries, right? But my dear friends, there is nothing such application known as a global application, where with one application you can get patent in all the countries. Nothing like that at all, my dear friends. So if you want to file an application in Canada, you have to file application in Canada. If you want to file an application in USA, you have to file an application in USA. You have to file in New Zealand, you have to file an application in New Zealand. So now you would be thinking, oh my goodness, that means it will be so time consuming and so expensive. That is the reason, my dear friends, there is a convention group of countries to simplify this. There is a group of countries which is known as a PCT convention and Paris convention. In PCT convention, my dear friends, there are 148 member countries who have come together for a single filing procedure. So if your application get accepted in PCT convention, my dear friends, and that means your patent would be granted in 148 countries straight away. And they are simplifying their work. And when you talk about the Paris Convention, in Paris Convention, there are 176 countries, my dear friends. That means if your application is accepted, your patent is granted in 176 countries. And if you want to go for your international patent, you can go to the WIPO website, that is World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, and you can go with your form RO101 form for international application. So that's a small brief about the priority date, a small brief about the convention, a small brief about the international application also. I hope you got a few idea about it, my dear friends. Okay, with my FAQs, trust me, you'll get a in detail idea about it. Just a few glimpses ki what is possible and what is not possible over here. Okay, can we go for the next slide, please? Yeah, we have one other person in this audience. I don't know the name because I cannot see the name over here. He had a question like, for example, why can we go for a PhD work for a patent? Yes, sir, you can go, but before the publication. And how to judge? Like many people have a doubt. Tell us if there are any criteria how to judge our product or our work. Is it patentable or not? Sir, according to according to the Government of India, if you satisfy these three criteria, you can straight away go for your application. Okay, let's understand with few of the examples. Okay, So let's understand. The first thing is your novelty. So let's understand with example. Like you'll say, yes, even we know it is novelty. Let's make it more simple. So let's understand it more clearly. For example, if there is a team, okay, there is a team of Hiral Patel is there, okay. We have Kanchana, we have Hiral and Kanchana, okay, who are working on a watch concept. Now you'll say, how watch concept? Are you mad? How can a watch concept can be patented? Watches are so old, everything is being patented. But what Hiral and Kanchana did, okay, they were working on a watch concept which they made it digital and transparent. They made it digital and transparent. They made it digital in such a manner that it can work. It can work like a computer. So the novelty part was that watch concept was not novelty. The novelty part was that it could function like a computer. That means they made a new application. If the application is new, that means you satisfy the first criteria, that is your novelty. So with this, you understand the application should be new. Your product is not new, it's okay. But if the application is new, my dear colleagues, you satisfy the first criteria, that is novelty. So I hope you got this concept very, very clear. This is the way, my dear friends, the examiner will analyze your application, my dear friends. Let's understand the second step. That is the inventive step. Okay. For example, we have a team. We have a team with Dr. Lalit, Dr. Nitin. We have a team, Dr. Lalit, Dr. Nitin. We have Professor Kudred. We have Selva. We have Shweta over here. We have Sujit, Supriya. This is one team. Okay. They have seen there is a product for a cancer in market which is costing for 8,000 rupees per month. Okay. They thought, yes, the sale for this product is very huge. We also try to make some product. All these people started working on a product for a cancer product, okay, for a medicine, and by God grace, within like in 8 to 9 months, they came up with a product, okay, with a different chemical composition. Amazing, right? So my question to this audience is that should they get patent or not? They made the product which was effective similar to that the previous one, okay, which were already entered into the market, but they made with a different chemical composition. Should they get patent? Yes or no? What is your answer to this? My dear friends, you'll understand the concept for the patent, trust me. Because if we have only one-way communication, you will not understand the core, because this is the concept is very thick. You have to understand with taking examples. Amazing. Thank you so much for your answer. Let's understand. I'll tell you how the examiner will judge this case. Thank you so much for putting your opinion. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, audience. I'll tell you what the examiner will look this case. The examiner will check, is there any economic benefit? He'll check it. He'll say no, there is no economic benefit. Even that was for 8,000 rupees. Even he's selling for 8,000 rupees. Why people will prefer this? That is an older brand. Number one. Number two, he'll check, is he bringing some value added? He'll check no. The effect what that is giving, he's also giving. His medicine also giving the same effect. Even his medicine is killing the cancer cells as well as the healthy cells. Even his medicine is killing the cancer cells as well as healthy cells. He's not bringing any value added effective. So this is the way, my dear friends, he will check your application. If you don't bring any economic factor change, if we don't bring any value added change for it, you have only used your intellect and time with different composition. If you have made a product, you won't get a patent. If in case you made the product for 4,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees or very, very much reasonable, cheaper than the already market currently in the market, either if you made the product which could only kill the cancer cells, it won't harm the good cells. In that case, doctors will make your application more stronger to clear the grant stage. That is the way, my dear friends, your patent application is judged and decided by the examiner and then by the expert committees and the controller. The third step, capable of any industrial application. I'll say one golden statement: it must be useful for humankind. That's it. Indirect or direct way. It has to be useful for humankind. Very, very important. This is very, very important for the third criteria. So if you satisfy these three criteria, my dear colleagues, trust me, if you're confident for it, you can if you're discussing with your guides, if you're discussing with your research fellows, if you're discussing with your colleagues, and if you feel yes, your work is being satisfied in all the three criteria, trust me, guys, you should go for the provisional application. In worst scenario, what will happen? It will get rejected. That's it. But at least a try, at least an efforts, it will, the process will teach you lots of many things for it. So that's the flow what you can go for your patent application, my dear. This is the first step. The second step is you have to check the previous patent which has been granted. I'll give you two links. Okay. Once I move ahead with my presentation, I'll give you two links with it where you can check it about the prior arts, the content which has been already been published into the patent. So they can check what is the difference with your product and with the already been which are published product. Okay. Can we have the next slide, please? Next slide, please. Yeah. So this is the form number which will be using it to filing a patent: form 1, form 2, form 3, form 5 to form 26. You would say, don't say me the number, say me what is this form used for. Yes, I'll tell you, my dear colleagues, in the coming slide. Don't worry. Okay. So these are two categories. Like as a researcher, as an educator, we fall under national category. So we have two options. Either we can go for e-filing, either we can go for physical filing. Physical filing, we already know where the offices, right? In India, there are 4 offices. According to jurisdiction, we'll be seeing the jurisdiction in the coming slide. So the patent filing, e-filing is almost 10% cheaper than the physical filing, my dear friends. Okay. Can we have the next slide, please? So this is jurisdiction according to your patent office. For example, if the patent office is in Mumbai, people from Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Goa, Chhattisgarh, Daman, Diu, Dadra Nagar Haveli, people from this area can file in Mumbai and so on. Like people from the states, and they can file in Chennai. Just for your information, my dear colleagues. Can we have the next slide, please? Over here. Just for your information. One of the most important thing, you will say, okay, we have done with the people involved in the patent office. We are done with the categories. What is patentee? What is licensee? Once we grant, what are the rules will be playing it? We are done with how we can claim for a patent. Okay, you'll tell me we are done with the fees. Okay, tell us how to make the document for it. So a few things which is very, very important, my dear friends. We need to have a A4 sheet. Okay, the dimension should be of 29.7 centimeter by length and 21 centimeter in breadth. The top and left margin should be a 4 centimeter. Bottom and right margin should be a 3 centimeter. Okay. The paper should be strong, flexible, non-shiny. Okay. Very, very important. All this feature of the paper has been mentioned into the Indian Patent Act 1970. Strong, flexible, non-shiny paper. Okay. The character size. Okay. It should be of 0.8 centimeter high. The character size should be of 0.8 centimeter high. The spacing should be, line spacing should be of 1.5. Now your document will look complete mess. The line spacing should be of 1.5. Okay. We have finished the character size. We have finished the line spacing. One of the most important thing. Okay. 2 more important thing. One is the numbering the every sheet. The sheet should be numbered at the bottom center in Arabic numerals. The sheet should be numbered at the bottom center in Arabic numerals. And the last thing, which is very, very unique, which you don't do it on any other document, that is numbering the lines. Okay, numbering not all the lines, my dear friends, numbering the multiples of 5th line. For example, if you have 25 lines in your first page, so you'll be numbering the multiple of 5th, like 5th line will be number 1, 10th line will be number 2, 15th line will be number 3, 20th line will be number 4, 25th line will be number 5. Okay, so your question would be to your mind, what if you go to the next page? If you go to the next page, we'll continue with 6 or we'll again start with 1. My dear friends, if you go to the next page, you'll again start with 1. 5th line number 1, 10th line number 2, 13th, 10th, 15th line number 3, 20th line number 4, 25th line number 5. If you go to the next page, again you will start with number 1. So now your question would be to your mind, okay, we understood the fifth number of, it should be in 5th line, multiple of 5th, right? Now tell me, where should be number? Number should be on left hand side of the line or right hand side? The numbering should be on the left hand side of the lines. So this is something unique which you don't follow in any other document, right? So that is the unique point over here we have to follow. So these are the few important things we have to follow while making the document for a patent, my dear friends. That's it. Rest everything is very, very simple. Don't worry about it. These are the following different type of patent application. Okay. We have ordinary patent application, convention, that is international, PCT, divisional, additional patent application, and so on. For example, additional is something like, for example, if Dr. Bharat already got a patent for his product, okay, and still Dr. Bharat was still working on his work on his product, and after 2-3 years he came up with something new application, but he was very confident that he cannot publish this other new patent. So in that case, what he can do, he can file additional application to his already granted patent. He can add this work to already his granted patent. So that is something like additional application. Okay. Can we have the next slide, please? So these are the forms which are required, my dear friends. Form 1. Form 1 is something known as application for the grant of patent. Form 2, provisional / complete specification. So for example, if you're filing a provisional application, the question would be to your mind, what are the key important things which are required for the provisional? For provisional application, my dear friends, you only need 2 things. One is the abstract and the second thing is the drawing. If you have the abstract and drawing ready, you can go for the provisional application. And my dear friends, for a complete application, the claims are mandatory. You have to put down your claims. What claims are you asking for your idea, for your work? Okay. I should not say idea, for your work I should, because you don't get patent for any idea and imagination. You only get patent for your work. And the form 3 is for statement and undertaking. Form 5, declaration as to inventorship. So when you want to file a patent on your own, you don't require any help from patent agent or patent attorney, my dear friends. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 5 is compulsory. Okay. If in case you're hiring a patent agent, if in case you're hiring a third person who will be prosecuting your application, my dear friends, only in that case, you will be filling Form 26. So Form 26 is optional. It is not compulsory. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 5 is compulsory. So once your patent application is published on the Indian patent website, my dear friends, so you apply with Form 18. Form 18 is for the examination, request for the examination, so that you conduct the examination, you give your examination, and then the decision will be taken, the patent will be granted or not. You will be questioning, then what is the publication? Publication is something like once you apply for it, it is reviewed, okay, it is accepted for the publication, and the publication takes between 8 months to 18 months. You will say, if I want to make it faster, yes, my dear colleague, we can make it faster by applying with Form 9. If you apply a Form 9, you can make your publication within 30 days to 45 days. That is possible. Again, Form 9 is optional. It is up to you if you want to make it faster. Okay. So can we go for the next one? So this is over here. We have understood what are the forms required for it. So let's understand how are the exact steps, how are the patent applications processed, okay, under Indian patent. So with this, we'll finish further, because I'll explain this one. The remaining part, can we start with first one step by step? Can we restart with the step by step, please? Okay. The first step is your application for the patent. Okay. So considering over here the amazing audience what we have over here in this chat room, okay, we all as a team is filing a patent. Over here, normally we have maximum 10 people over if you want to file a patent for it. Okay. We all 10 people, the whole team, we are filing a patent. So initially we have applied application. For applying the application, we have filled Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 5. If we wanted to hire someone else, then we have to fill Form 26. Okay. If you want to make a publication faster, then Form 9. Second step. Can we have the second step, please? Thank you so much, sir. The second step is a publication, which takes maximum of 18 months of your time. If you want to make it faster, you can make it faster by applying Form 9. Okay. Once the application is published, let's go for the third step. Can we have the third step, please? Yes. The third step is for the request for the examination. Now, once it is published on the Indian Patent website, you have to request for the examination by applying with the Form 18. Okay. So now can we have the next step, please? Then you start preparing for examination and so on. Okay. Can we have the next step, please? Then you face your examination in the front of the expert committee, the controller and the examiner. Okay. And the applicant, the decision will be taken by the controller. There will be two options. Either they will say yes, either they will say no. Okay. So let's be very, very positive today evening. Okay. Because we have understood, we have come to a long journey. We have understood what is IPR. We have understood the 9 types of IPR. Now we are focusing only on one type of the IPR, that is patent. So let's be very, very positive. Let's understand what if the answer is yes. Okay. Can we have the next slide, please? So if the answer is yes, my dear colleague, so it's yippee. That means the patent is granted. Congratulations to all the audience over here. So once the patent is granted, we have already revised in the previous slide. We have the post opposition, right? So the patent is open for almost 12 months. Anyone can oppose it, okay, within that period. If, for example, if someone have opposed it, for example, the patent is granted, okay, the patent is granted. For example, the patent is granted to we can take an audience from, we can, for example, the patent is granted to Supriya, okay, and Yogita is opposing for it. Okay, the patent is granted for Supriya in this amazing audience, and Yogita feels ki no, it should not be granted. I am opposing this grant. Okay, then what would be the conclusion for it? The controller and that his team will listen to both the parties. They will listen to Supriya as well as for Yogita. They have granted this patent for Supriya, and Yogita is opposing it, my dear friends. Okay, so they will listen to both the hearings, and the controller will say, wait, don't go for next step. Wait. The controller will say, after listening to both the parties, the controller will say to Supriya, what we have granted to you, okay, it's completely right. What Yogita is claiming for it, it is not making any valid statement. So we are granting you the patent. So that would be the one condition. So Supriya would be getting the patent. In second case would be like, after hearing to both the parties, the controller and the team would say no. There are few points with Yogita is the statement is making valid. They will tell to Supriya, you do the following amendments into your patent, okay, and then only we can grant you the patent. So that would be the second step. Okay. Third decision, we'll see it later on. Let's see what if the answer is no to Supriya. Okay. What if they say no to Supriya? Can we have the next step, please? If they say no to Supriya, that means the patent is refused straight away. Then Supriya knows she has various options for it. She will appeal to the appellate board. Okay. And the appellate board will hear to Supriya why she is opposing for it, why she feels that she should be granted, why she feels the decision taken by the controller is wrong. She should have been granted the patent. If the appellate board, wait, don't change. If the appellate board will feel no, Supriya is right, there is some mistake by the team of controller, then patent would be allowed to Supriya, and she would follow the same yes procedure. What if the appellate board feels no, the patent should not be granted, the decision taken by the controller and his team for Supriya is completely right, and the patent should be rejected. Can we have the next step? And let's see the third option. The third option, where we were hearing the Supriya's case and Yogita, when Yogita was opposing. And third case was, can we see the third case where the controller and team feels no, the claims by the Yogita is completely valid. We should have not been granted the patent to Supriya. So that is the way your application is processed in the patent office, my dear friends. So that's all from my end, my dear friends. Baki rest the content is completely images. I can just share my PPT. You can have a look over it. So you don't have to worry more about it. Thank you so much for joining. Rest everything is like something like you can have a look at the self. You don't have to worry much about it. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry for me being late. Actually, like being in Bombay, we had like yesterday we had extreme rainfall over here. Still, like I was just traveling to my place because we had lots of water in our place, like few of our residential place. Sorry for it. Thank you for being such an amazing audience. Thank you for being such a sporty, for being so active, because you guys made me as a presenter being very interactive. Thank you for your efforts. Okay. This complete presentation will be shared to you. Don't worry at all. Okay. Any doubts if you're having, we have almost 9 minutes left. Any doubts if you're having it, you can mention into your chat room. Either you can unmute yourself and so on. Okay. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Dr. Vishal sir. Thank you so much, Huda sir. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity. Thank you so much, Vishal sir. Thank you so much for changing the slide to me, sir. I'm still in my car. Thank you so much for your support, sir.
Awab, I believe that the situation in Mumbai is under control.
Yes, sir.
Since yesterday, in fact, therefore yesterday, the kind of the rain which I am seeing on the news, on the TV, I thought that the old English proverb, it was raining cats and dogs, has also failed in the present situation the way it is raining in Mumbai.
Yes, sir.
What about your house? What about your vehicle? Everything is safe?
Sir, everything is same. Actually, my wife's where she her aunt house everything because she stays in Bombay and they stays on ground floor and they had almost like 4.5 feet of water in their house.
Might be.
And from morning, sir, our whole family was involved in that. And I got a call from Vishal, sir. I got so scared. So sorry for it. Sorry for making.
I can understand, but listening to you is always a pleasure and wonderful talk, and very important. The IPR and particularly patent is such an important area without which the teachers of 21st century can't imagine to sustain. That is such an important area. Thank you so much. Will not bother you. Take care of yourself. Take care of the family. Take care of the fellow people there. And question answer, no worry. If there many questions are coming, we will take it up through WhatsApp group or take it up independently on an email. But take care of yourself, because I was a little worried since yesterday that the way Mumbai is raining, how are you going to give the talk? Because hardly there is any electricity, and even if the area in which there is an electricity, people are afraid of using it. But nonetheless, you are so committed professional. You delivered it, whether in one way or other. But it was very useful. Thank you so much, Mr. Awab. And this certificate is again to remind you in your memories, in your record, that you have been part of even this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Dear participants, Awab has delivered this talk in extremely odd situation. The situation which is uncontrollable. All of us might be visualizing that many parts of the country, particularly northern Bihar, few part of Assam, northeast, in fact, almost entire northeast, and in Maharashtra, particularly Mumbai. It is such a pathetic situation that it is absolutely and extremely difficult to cope up with the commitment. But still, there are many participants from northeast who are committed and who are attending the program. And a speaker from Maharashtra. This shows the commitment, and this is a matter of encouragement for all of us. So thank you so much to the participants as well. And once again, thank you so much, Mr. Awab. Wish you all the best to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Awab, sir.
Thank you, sir.
It is always a pleasure to have you in the program of Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, and we plan to meet you soon. Once the pandemic will be over, we will meet. Thank you so much, and please take care. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much to all the participants. Now we are going to close this session and we will take a question and answer session of this session on some other day, either Saturday. We can take it. If you have any query regarding the patent and the IPR, we can plan the question and answer session with Mr. Awab sir on some other day. And thank you very much to all the participants for your cooperation and support to making this program interactive and so learning fruitful. So we will meet on tomorrow at 1:15. Thank you very much to all. Thank you.